What's going on, everyone? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes. And I thought today I'd address the metaverse. What is it? What does it encompass? And is it separate from the rest of the crypto space? So most people, and you may be one of them right now, that think, I'm not a gamer. It's kind of weird. This whole, having an avatar, living in a different world that's digital, and interacting with people that you don't really see, well, you don't see physically anyway, and you just kind of interact all on a digital plane, all with different faces, different names, not even real names, just handles really, and all you hear is this. It's a big buzz around the metaverse, and you see players like Adidas and Atari and all kinds of companies that are jumping into the metaverse space. Even banks like JP Morgan are now entering the space as well. So what's the big deal, and how is it separate from the rest? So we have to understand, first of all, that metaverse is it's a virtual world, right? Now we may have some hybrid ones where you're going to have some augmented reality mixed with virtual reality mixed with reality. All that can be kind of intertwined. But the metaverse itself is literally like a game. You jump in, it's like a simulation, right? You jump in there and you interact with different avatars or different beings in there who are representative of actual people on the other side. So, okay, you're not a gamer, and if you are a gamer, it's actually pretty natural. I was never a hardcore role-playing kind of guy, but even if you play sports games, you see all those people or those first-person kind of shooting games or whatever the case may be. You have headphones, you're talking to someone, you're talking to their character, but you're not seeing them, right? You're all part of this community, and that's really what the metaverse is. It's one big community of people. And so for anyone who's gamer, like sports or anything else, it's not that strange. So now if you are not a gamer, you're like, yeah, it's not for me. I don't really understand it. Well, if you think about it, really what we're doing over the last couple of years, since the pandemic, everything has been a simulation. Sure, you can see my face, I can see yours on a Zoom call, but you can put up different backgrounds, you can even put up a different avatar or a different face for yourself. All of that, this is just a simulation. I'm not meeting anybody physically, neither are you for the most part, when you have these Zoom calls anyway. So really we're not living in something all that much different. Okay, it's the act of being on a different platform that may be a little bit strange. So I just want to dispel that right out the gate, that it is not as strange as you may think. It is perhaps the evolution of where we're going to go. Now, when people say 24/7, that's where we are going to live, yeah, there's a little bit of cause for concern there, only because there will always need to be some sort of physical interaction, I believe. But who knows what the future holds. But the point is that it's not weird, okay? It's not far-fetched. It's happening as we speak. So I just want that's the groundwork of the metaverse. Like, you can have actual cities being built in there, and that actually happens, right? So it's not just a game. You can hang out in there, right? People build cities. They have casinos in the metaverse. So all kinds of things that are happening in the metaverse. So a lot of people, what they say is, hey, look, I'm in metaverse only, or I'm in NFTs, but don't bother me with that other stuff. And I'm here to say that you actually cannot separate them so much like you used to. We've got decentralized finance, which has actually been the foundation for gaming and NFTs. So you have things like play to earn, right? We've got the ability to rent and earn yield, on NFTs or gaming assets. All kinds of stuff that has come up from decentralized finance, which is pretty much the act of lending and borrowing, staking, liquidity pools. There's all kinds of things. So essentially, that whole section, that whole sector of decentralized finance opened the gates for all of these other assets, or all of these other portions of crypto to come into play. So a lot of times people get caught up in just the cryptocurrencies, right? The tokens, and or certain coins that are shooting through the sky, and price action seems to be what everybody follows. But even the tokens themselves. So now NFT projects are being able to release tokens and airdropping them into somebody's wallet just for holding the NFT. All of this has been actually possible because of decentralized finance. So it's very difficult to say that, well, I'm not a metaverse person or I'm not an NFT person, because at some point there is going to be some blending of your experience. It's really what's going to happen. Part of an investment club through London Real, and one of the members there is very heavy into NFTs, and so heavy that he's actually bought land in the metaverse, wants to create a gallery for his NFTs and also lend them out and rent them to other people. So it's very interesting how when you get into this, you may think you're only getting into it for one piece. Okay, you might think, hey, I'm just going in for the Bitcoin price, and fair play if that's the case. Or I'm just going in for quick money. Look, I can't foresee anyone who's done the work when they jump in the space, no matter what brings you in, whether it's NFTs, the metaverse, it's short-term plays, whatever brings you in, typically you start to stay in the game, you get more heavily involved in the game. And when I say game, I mean the entire crypto space. It's something that you just can't leave, because not only is it fun, okay, but it's got real value. And that's something that is difficult to see unless you're in it. The whole point of being decentralized, the whole point of being censorless, permissionless, and you can actually see the transaction history. You can't get that anywhere else. And there's nobody in between, right? Usually there's no middleman. So you're responsible for your assets, you're responsible for your transactions, and while that may seem scary, it's actually, it frees you. It gives you a sense of freedom. You don't have to tell anybody where it's going to go. You don't have to get someone's permission. You don't have to give someone, a large portion of your transaction just because it has to go through them. So where crypto and metaverse actually meet is all over. Where you've got tokens so games will have NFTs, games will have their own tokens, the NFTs will have their own tokens. You can trade, you can borrow, you can swap, you can stake. All these things you can do, and then those tokens that actually get released to those, to the wallet holders or the holders of the NFT or the players of the game, they end up on exchanges, and then that's a separate way of generating revenue. You have your NFT, you have your gameplay, and you have the tokens. And the tokens you can buy, you can sell, you can do as you please. So you can see that's cryptocurrency mixing with NFTs, mixing with the metaverse. And the more you engage in a game, the more tokens you may earn, right? Which you can then go and sell, or you can lend. So all these things have become intertwined. So it's one of the biggest questions I saw out there was, how does crypto and metaverse meet or relate? And I wanted to kind of dispel this whole thing of they're completely separate. NFTs are separate. And I just urge everyone just to get in. And the best way, honestly, the best way to get involved is you've got to buy something. Spend a little money. Okay? Even if, it's $50, $100, $25, whatever it is, there are things you can do for free. You can go on OpenSea. You can buy free NFTs. 100% you can do that. But are you going to really be engaged with what you buy? Are you going to understand or want to understand what comes with it? And will there even be those extensions of what I'm talking about in terms of, scarcity, rarity, all that kind of other stuff that comes with NFTs? Are you going to get that from something that's free? Generally not. So put a little skin in the game. That's going to kick you in the butt to want to learn more. And once you learn more and you find out that, hey, this is not just a weird scenario for the younger generation. This is not just a right-click save as JPEG. This is not just some kind of outlandish stuff that's talked about that governments don't like. Like, there's all kinds of headlines, scenarios out there that are not correct. They're just hype. And you need to get past that. and really the best thing I can say is that everything is intertwined. That is the best thing I could say, because it is one whole crypto sphere. It's like saying, I don't really care for money, but I like cars. Okay, well, how are you going to buy a car? Right? If you sell it, what are you going to get for it? Right? You don't notice, and maybe you don't notice even the money aspect of it you don't notice that at a certain level. But that's typically what it is. You need something to grease the wheel of the entire mechanism, the entire machine. And the crypto machine, there are so many parts to it, but they all work together to create one big, beautiful machine. Okay, so hopefully I answered the question of where crypto meets the metaverse. Very intertwined, nothing is separated. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, do all of that good stuff. Do not wait for tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow never comes, but especially with this, play around with it. The space moves at a speed of light. Okay, so just dip your toe in, have some fun with it, play around, and see what comes of it. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.